Okay.
All right.
Yeah. We want to start off with giving our condolences to the family of Robert Price. He was the father of a friend of ours that she's like family. Her husband, her kids, and her mother. He passed away shortly before Christmas, and so it's been a real rough time for them. It's Amy and Paul Gordon and James and Justin, their sons, their little granddaughter Angie, and her mother Norma. We know how you feel. We've been through that. Doesn't help. Nothing's going to help you right now except just maybe time, and is so hard. And we just want you to know that we love you, and we're thinking about you, and you'll always be family to us, all of you.
Amy and Paul and the rest of the family.
Yeah. And give your sweet mama a hug for us.
We send our prayers.
And include her brother Robbie and his wife Tracy, and then their two children, Emma and Brandon.
Right.
Yeah, because Miss Norma and Mr. Robert just had the Amy and Robbie.
Right.
So,
okay.
So we are sorry and we love you.
Now, I guess we will get with some questions that Daniel has had some people send in questions that we like to answer. People have jillions of questions, and we like to try to answer, and
I won't make it that long.
As many as we
A jillion.
A jillion.
I'll never make it.
Maybe not a jillion tonight, but some.
Let's see. One of the first ones, and there's a few that kind of go together that we can hit, but it says, did Elvis ever play musical instruments in any of his recordings or his records?
I know he played the back of his guitar. He turned it over and slapped it.
Like bongos or?
Yeah, well, like drums, kind of like. And in one of his earlier songs. Now he did play bass, and the one that it was recorded at Graceland, he played the bass guitar and Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain.
Yeah.
Now,
I got that one.
I don't know that they used that version when they put it out, because it was recorded, several times, before they got what they wanted. So, but he could play a lot of different instruments, and I know on stage, everybody knows he could play the piano, and he was fairly good at some of the instruments,
He played that on stage in Unchained Melody.
Yeah,
did a great job.
Did a good job, yeah. But that answers, your question. Thank you, and he did. He played. I know some of the time on his records.
Okay, and then what goes along with it, I guess, when you say on stage, a fan wants to know, did he ever miss when he threw the guitar to Charlie, or did Charlie ever miss and the guitar not get caught?
I know one time he missed it, and I was went over and beat him with a guitar. No, I'll be honest with you, I can't honestly answer that, but I can tell you who probably can, and if I get a chance, I guarantee you we will interview him, and the other person is not with us any longer that could have answered that, and the person I'm talking about that's not with us is Dick Grove, and but Sam Thompson could answer that probably for you, and would, if we ever get a chance, or you ask him personally, he'll probably answer it for you. But if we ever get a chance to interview him, we will. And but he can answer your question, since a lot of times during those times I wasn't there. So,
and I can tell you somebody else that might is Keith Alverson. As the photographer, because he took
And maybe Australia, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Dean, any of the guys
DeCoppers,
standing around, when we were with him, I never knew of a time that he ever. And if he had, it would have been Charlie's fault.
Yeah.
Not his.
You know, speaking of Charlie, I've heard a lot of people say, "Well, could he really sing, or was just he up there to give, support Elvis, give him the scarves and all that?" Charlie had a beautiful voice, beautiful voice, and he did harmony with Elvis,
a couple of his
really
records,
good.
you know, and anyway, that answers that question, and I guess we'll move on to the next one since I can't remember the song and him. No.
One that I asked, what or did Elvis have any favorite artist or a type of music that he liked, or did he not listen to a lot of music because that's what he did for a living, and he did not, he didn't have other artists he liked, or he was tired of it after his job?
No, I mean, who could come up to him? So, he wasn't movie-wise or, Elvis,
He loved it.
He loved music, and he loved listening to music. It didn't make it. Very seldom would he listen to one of his on records. Once in a great while. Most of the time, what he'd listen to would be when they got through with recording and all. The playbacks, and he would listen to those until
he got it like he wanted it.
Like he wanted it. Elvis. I felt like, his came from the inside. Most of his songs he tried to put his,
he was
personal touch in it.
Perfectionist on that, yeah.
If it could be, And he
Can you name some of the artists that he liked? I know.
Oh yeah,
he loved,
God.
John Gary was one of the people that he loved.
So many.
And he liked Anne Murray and
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin.
Bobby Darin.
Yeah.
Ricky Nelson, even him, he listened to.
He
loved music, and if it was a good song, like Adam Wade, who recorded and Elvis recorded the song after he did, and all, and he loved his voice. He had a really good voice, and Elvis listened to him, and He liked music, performers, and he loved music in general. That's all you could say. And he would listen to a lot of other people and went to different ones shows a lot of times. Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr. Jackie Wilson and
he loved Jackie Wilson. Yeah. He recorded a lot of people's songs that he recorded. One of our good friends, Billy Swan. He recorded "I Can Help." Billy wrote that, and Billy recorded it too.
Yeah,
but
he had it out first, and it done real well for him. And then
Elvis heard it, and he liked it, and he recorded it.
Maybe with some luck, we'll have an interview with Billy Swan. I'm hoping we will. He lives in Nashville, and if we get a chance to drive up there and all, we go by and see if we can't get an interview with him. He's a wonderful person, and he really crazy about Elvis. He liked Elvis a lot, and so as far as artists and movies and all. He would watch the dailies on a lot of his movies, or what that is, what they had filmed that day during the movie. He'd watch it once in a while, and I mean it was a rarity. He would watch one of his movies, but most of the time he wouldn't watch his movies or listen to his own records.
No.
He'd rather listen to other artists, and but.
I do remember one time when we were up in his room and we were singing. He was singing, and he had Ginger singing a part, you singing a part, all of us singing a different part, and it was Way Down. Remember that?
Yes, but I'm
Huh?
gonna stand to correct you.
Oh, it wasn't Way Down?
No, it wasn't Ginger.
It was too. I remembered.
I think anyway, I say it was Linda, she says it was Ginger.
I
but,
think it was.
we'll find out, because I remember,
Linda had a voice too. Though.
Yeah,
Linda has a good voice, but
I'm not putting Ginger down, don't misunderstand me, it just wasn't.
I don't know why I was just.
But, you may be right and I may be wrong. We'll find out and we'll let you know, I promise. Anyway, next
What
one.
about y'all? What other than Elvis? What's your favorite genre of music or artists that you like?
Jungle Room.
Genre of music. Type. Genre of music.
Yeah,
like 50s, 60s.
What
disco?
What did we like?
Yes. What do you like?
Music?
What type of music? Yes.
We always like rock and roll.
It's my accent.
Folks, look.
She's Southern. She's real Southern.
I have no other idea what that word means.
We
Look,
like
I can't
rock and
help
roll.
it. I'm
I like country.
That's
I'm
like country, rock and roll, 50s, 60s,
Yeah.
disco.
Oh, why
like
you just
singing.
say that
I
then?
like-
Why,
I was
but
trying
this
to
big
sound-
high-class word that,
I was trying to sound
a
like
redneck
the
like me
Biz.
can't understand.
I like 60s, 50s and 60s. I love the rock and roll in those days, and I did not like country until later. I didn't like it back when I was little. I thought, oh my God, if my mother plays another one of those songs, I'm
Sad.
gonna die.
Sad.
But I love
long, drawn
Yeah.
out.
Well, I did like country. I listened to country
I do too
as
now.
a kid. And, of course, I loved the 50s and the 60s.
I like the 60s.
And,
I like the 60s.
Then another era come along, and, as my kids liked it. And some of that I liked,
Well, that's like Nolan. He's
And-
hair band.
Uh-huh.
All the hair bands all the way, and to me they're new because I wasn't in that.
Yeah.
But I like 50s, 60s,
hair
70s.
bands. Is that like when you put your hair back and you got a band in it?
Well, like to us.
90s alternative rock, but
Yeah.
I wasn't a 70s or 80s type.
Now I was a disco fool. I'm gonna tell you when them lights went
Disco.
to spinning, boy, I could slap you. No, I didn't listen too much.
We
to
like
disco.
we love dancing though. Dancing, I can remember going to sock hops and dance till we had blisters on our feet. But
And I always told her, save the last dance for me.
I liked all those. But I loved Janis Joplin, and that of course nobody, because of our feelings and connections with Elvis, nobody topped Elvis to us. But I liked Janis Joplin a whole lot.
Yeah.
I liked Ricky Nelson.
And I like Janis Joplin because of you.
Yeah, because I used to
I
play
had
Janis
so
Joplin
many in
all
the
the time. I
50s
like
and
Mick
60s,
Jagger. I like
that I like,
Yeah.
just,
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart. I liked Rod Stewart.
golly, I can't name all of them. I can go from, Clyde McPhatter to,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nolan's radio is set on hair bands, and some of it I hear, and I'm like, is this new? And he's like, you're a child. It's not. Everybody's, I guess, group and generation
I
had
don't know.
their
I
own.
liked the music when it had words that you could understand, and
To us, we thought it had feelings, but of course,
yeah.
never.
But everybody has their own.
Yeah, that feels the same way about
Yeah.
their music. So
It's
but,
like
God, I remember just so many different ones that I liked back.
Oh, me
when I
too.
was.
And
There was
like,
a lot of them, a lot of greats.
mhm.
Bobby B, Bobby Rydell.
I can remember
Bobby
songs
Darin.
like "Burning Bridges."
Oh God, Jack Scott. Yeah,
Hearts
yeah.
Made of Stone.
I can name them for a while, but I won't.
Oh yeah, just
But that's
great songs. But too, we get to thinking, and our parents probably didn't like some of the stuff we liked. That's why I don't. I always let Joey and Danny listen to any kind of music they wanted, because it was during their time. And they did. They loved Foreigner. Kiss.
Yeah, Kiss. Yeah.
Joey's favorite was Kiss. He had Kiss posters all over the ceiling. Danny loved Alabama.
Three Dog Night.
Three Dog Night. Just, you know.
Well,
and we did too. We learned to, you know, through them. We liked.
I listened to the 50s and 60s when you could get the CDs. Y'all ordered them off TV and got that huge set, and I would use them, and I started liking that. But I'm a mood, whatever kind of mood I'm in. It's if angry or happy or sad or whatever. But whatever goes with
you know, it's like you can hear a song and it puts you back in the place you were when you heard it. You know,
right. It brings back certain.
Yeah, music does that.
But but none. And believe me, I know. I tell you the truth, and none matched Elvis.
No,
just like. In fact, let me just say, I have got one of the biggest Elvis collection of records.
Yes.
That you could think of, and
every one of them.
The only ones I don't have are the Sun. I had them, and there's a little story behind that, and boy, I wish somebody would have kicked me, God. But we were traveling to Tupelo, and I had Elvis's first 3 records, you know, that's all I had in my mind, and golly. But anyway, these records, I had them, and I had them in their sleeves, the Sun sleeves, and I was trying to get them out of the way of the other stuff we were carrying, and I laid them in the back, up and behind the back glass.
Sun
when we got there, they looked like an ocean. And God, that man, I could, you know. But I you know, as a kid, a teenager, I didn't realize, you know.
You know what somebody should have done to you?
Yeah, beat me severely about the head and shoulders, I tell you. Golly. But as far as from there on, you know, I forgot them if they've been put out. And after you know, he passed away, I got just one heck of a collection of.
Maybe one video you can get them out and we can show.
Oh, there's so many. Yeah. There's how many? Hundreds?
I've got over, let's say, about 230 just albums alone. And, well, I say I got
40,
one.
We have
There's
45
other people that got bigger ones. But
so we collect, too, you know.
I've got some of the ones that are not for sale. They're promo copies.
Yeah,
and
promo. That's the.
I've even got one of Ricky Nelson too. Promo. It's
copy.
Late, so I got some of Elvis. And gosh, I would.
That's a passion.
I was a big Elvis fan too.
Yeah. But Billy always collected records.
What?
Yeah, really. Believe it or not.
And coins.
Coins
and records
and I believed in
knives.
Dice.
Knives.
Oh, okay. I was thinking say dice. I never collected the dice. All the ones I collected were in Vegas. And they had a tendency to take rather than give.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's good.
Here's one. Someone wants to know, where was your favorite place to live? Both of y'all. Where was your favorite place to live with Elvis? Was it California? Was it Graceland? Was it the ranch? Was it Tupelo? Back in the day.
Way back in the day.
Anywhere
back when dirt was
nice.
Coming around. Yeah, you know, it didn't. As long as Elvis, you know, we were with him, you know, any place.
I loved.
But no, I'll say.
I loved Graceland, and I loved the Circle G because we had the horses, and at Circle, we had the horses at Graceland too. But I don't know, which one did you like better?
Me? Horses or
Graceland? No, Graceland or Circle G.
I liked Graceland.
I like Graceland too
because you know, I mean that's
it was Graceland.
I lived at Graceland, so you know it was.
When Elvis was alive,
exceptionally special.
Graceland was home. It was like.
Audubon was pretty, but Graceland just was it.
But it was quiet. You wouldn't realize that the highway was right there. Everything was up inside those gates. It was quiet. It was like living out in the country, really. Like, and it was.
Well, at one time when he bought it, it was.
It was, but it was peaceful. And
was the highway where it is now, or had they moved it?
No.
What about the little? You know what I'm trying to say.
Curves around
the little
lane.
curve where you can go and stop and sign the wall and
They
go.
didn't have-
Did they add that after the
That
fact?
was added.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
added.
added.
The sidewalk and all that was added.
After he bought Graceland.
Yeah.
What about in California? What was your favorite place that he had there?
Mine was, as far as looks and all and style, was probably Bellagio Road. It was kind of a Spanish looking home, and
The stucco roof.
went in
Have
and
the
had
stucco.
a big winding stairs and all, and
We-
it had like 3 floors.
Yeah. It was pretty.
Then the main floor, and then the basement floor, and then the upstairs where the bedrooms and all were, and a library. And
Did he own those, or did he rent
no,
them?
he just leased them
them.
for certain length of
I
time.
loved Perugia Way, but that's just because that's the first one that I went to, and I lived there.
Yeah.
But it was not the prettiest or the nicest. It just I don't know. I just had a lot of memories there. And then we had after Joey was born, Elvis furnished us an apartment, so we got to have our own place, and we lived on Beverly Glen, down from UCLA,
Yeah.
and not far
Westwood.
from Westwood, yeah. And but I don't know. California was nice, and it was a pretty state, but I didn't like it as much as I liked the South.
Yeah.
I like
Home.
Home.
We call it.
Graceland was home.
Because I guess, wherever you are living,
Wherever you-
all,
yeah.
it's,
Depends on who you're with and
yeah.
what, if you got your family and all that, that's home.
But I've myself have just been, more of a country person.
Yeah.
Always have been,
Yeah, we like country.
I'm city folk.
I'm just,
Yeah, Danielle's
I
Danielle-
gotta be
yeah.
close to town, close to a store, close to an interstate. And when I say city, it's like it's not a big city, but. Do you know what made Elvis want to buy Graceland?
well,
And along with it, their question was it really a church at one time? And if so, what
I
happened
think
there,
I've
and what
told
made him want to buy it?
yeah, I think I've told the story before, but it all started naturally on Audubon Drive. Fans had started to actually come in around more, and they actually, did come to the Getwell home that he had. He lived on Lamar. He had one there, Lamar, and then Getwell, and then Audubon. And Audubon, Elvis had already, was a big star and all, and fans coming from, all around locally, and sometimes further places and states from Memphis, and
houses were close there.
and the houses over there were a lot closer together, and it got to be a problem for all the people that lived around him rather than Elvis. By then, you're talking about people that was in their yards and their yards and so on, and
I'd have been okay with it.
and
but-
then he had hired my daddy during that time. That daddy was actually the first person on Elvis's payroll, and he, worked as the guard, and tried to handle them, and he had tried to keep them, as best he could. But it got so crowded that either they were in Elvis's yard or in the road.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. That's literally was it, because
Blocks
these
of
people here were
traffic.
complaining, and all the people down through there were complaining about all the fans, and
Yeah.
later at night, because sometimes they wouldn't leave till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and so, they got to complaining. They took up a petition to buy Elvis's home. And Elvis said, no, he said, I tell you what, you find out how much they want for so many houses this way and so many houses that way, and I'll buy them from them. And so word got back to them and all that, and so, they said, well, we're not going to sell our home, but, we don't,
But didn't they find out after his
Found
was
out, I'll get to it. Yep, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I didn't know you were.
But come to find out that Elvis was the only one that had paid cash and owned his own home in there, and that was Audubon Drive.
Yeah.
So I think he got to looking around, a little bit, and believe it or not, there was two twins, and I can't think of their name, girls.
Lazenby twins.
Lazenby, right? I think that's
Jean and Jane Lazenby.
had told him about a place in Whitehaven, and if I'm not mistaken, they may have lived out there. I'm not sure. But anyway, they had told him about this place, and actually went with him, and they drove to it, and it was Graceland, and showed him, and he found out that Mrs. Grace Moore, who had the home, was interested in selling it. So he tried to find out how much he wanted for it, and he found out, and that's when he purchased Graceland. And now, Miss Moore was a very Christian woman. She getting older, and she loved going to church, and at times she would actually have church services held. If I remember right, they said the basement part of Graceland, and which would be like his den and the pool room, and she would hold church services there, and that's how people got it that it was a church. It was that she sometimes held church services there. But anyway, that's how that come about, and Elvis bought Graceland, and from there on, of course, he had it completely redone. He had a decorator, interior decorator, yard man decorator, and fence builders and all that, all working pretty much at the same time. And
yeah,
just right after he bought it and all, that's when we moved into the house out back. And Daddy, he would help oversee when Uncle Vernon and Aunt Gladys wasn't there to oversee how the decorating and all was coming along.
So you actually moved there before Elvis?
Elvis did, yeah. And but that's that story. Hope that answered your question.
Another one is the tree where Elvis shot at the snake still there?
No, he cut it down right after that. He couldn't. He didn't hit the snake, so he cut the tree down.
It was the tree's fault.
It was the tree.
He was punished.
Tree moved when he didn't want it. Now,
as far as we know, it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. It was a pretty healthy looking tree, and all the pictures
out in front of Graceland now.
Yeah,
so
and all the pictures I've seen of Graceland now, the tree's still there. Now I'm sure it's still got a few pellets from the shotgun shells embedded in it that will always be
Did
there.
he miss the snake though? Really?
He missed the snake. Of course, I had started up the tree, and that's when he cut loose.
You started down the tree.
I came back down the tree and back over where he was. But he missed the snake, and he regretted that. But that was that story. The tree's still there.
Another fan wants to know where were Aunt Delta and Dodger when he recorded in the den, and was it loud? or wouldn't it have been loud
Oh,
for
he sent
them?
them to a hotel.
No.
Kicked them out and said, no. They stayed in,
Grandma's room.
well, Grandma's room originally was
Dodger is Grandma, so that's,
Graceland and all was St. Gladys and Uncle Vernon's room, before she passed away, and then later it became Grandma's room.
Yeah.
And Aunt Delta stayed in there with her, although Aunt Delta did have a room to herself if she wanted it, but most of the time she spent the time with Grandma. And anyway, that's that. Next, and the next one, I think the next question kind of goes into part of it. Go ahead and read it.
With?
I can't see, I don't know how much. Yeah, I do. Excuse me.
Well, I just wanted to make sure what you were looking
Pardon
at.
me, I'll read this off since you can't.
It's my handwriting, so okay.
Did Elvis' ginger father
Grandfather.
Elvis's grandfather.
really bail Travis out and leave? No, that's not the one I was thinking about. But anyway, well, that's it too.
Think so.
Oh, I bet you were going with what is directly on the other side of the block wall.
No, I was thinking
Okay,
about
well,
more
hang
of the muffling of the sound. Could they hear it?
Oh yeah, it was together in one. Was it loud for them? Could they hear it, or was anything done?
Right. Okay. Well.
Not that he cared if he disturbed anybody, but
No. What? Say what? Anyway.
It was loud.
It was loud.
speaking loud, Lane's
But she's
making
okay. Let her.
chocolate milk and
Kids
loud.
Kids are gonna be kids are gonna be kids, and that's Laney. She's actually making her some chocolate milk. And but anyway, getting back to the story. When they recorded at Graceland, they actually put up blankets and stuff around, in different areas.
Yeah.
And that was to muffle, keep the sound.
And there was carpet on the ceiling.
Yeah.
So
and right, and that helped too. And they, it muffled the sound to contain it, basically right in that area. And but it wasn't. We were in the dining room, most of us, and stayed in there, and we could barely hear it, And of course, in Grandma's room with the door closed and all.
they probably
They
did.
probably
didn't
just
bother.
barely hear it if they, heard it at all, and so that answers your question on there, and I'll go on to the next one.
All right. What is directly on the other side of the block wall with the drapes that's at the first landing of the stairs at Graceland?
Well, they got a real big statue of Elvis, and it's back behind there.
No.
And they only reveal it to
I'm sitting here going, I don't know
What?
what
I
I
never saw that.
No, what it was, he put it up there, to kind of, blend in with
And cover up.
blend in with the interior downstairs. And at that time it was red. Red, I don't know what color it is now. I'm thinking it's blue, but I couldn't swear it, I don't know. But anyway, behind it was a door, and this door led out to a little balcony that was over the top of the jungle room. Is that right? Yeah, jungle room. I'm right. Thought I was. And that's where that door, so it covered it up and all. Anyway, and that answers that one. And that's,
Okay.
And with that, I think it maybe will be the last one. And just want to say we'll get to some more questions and all for you.
More stories.
And more stories. And like I said, like we always says,
Elvis fans matter. Remember that.
Remember it. And subscribe.
Subscribe.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.